Hey YouTube, how you doing? Kevin here for round 2 on this electronic ignition conversion from points. Okay, so we just had one hell of a rainstorm come through here, so I had this thing in my kitchen and I wasn't able to do my video, so I'm going to go over everything with you guys, what I had to do. Starting with the spark plug. Spark plug modification was simple. I just had to put one of these tips on, the screwable tips, so it can accommodate for the new coil. And I had to build this bracket. This bracket right here is just built out of regular steel that you can get over, 1/2-inch steel that you can get like Tractor Supply. It comes in like 4 foot. I had some in hand. I used the factory coil mount, and then I cut down a side cover screw that I had from a junk engine and used all the same hardware so it all looks unison. See how nice that looks? Came out nice. See if I can blow this up for you. Mosquitoes are out, so I'm sorry if I'm swiping it, but basically see the bracket. Just basically holding up the other post right there, and don't forget your ground on the wire. And then this takes a spade connector, and the factory connector is a push-in, like a regular round circle. I forgot what the name of that one is. So what I did was I made a wire. I basically just took the factory spade off the original electrical harness, ran it up through, I cut it in half, and then put a spade on the other end, not spade, a push, the circle one, and then soldered it and heat shrunk it. Also in that electrical video how to do that, and so that part's all done. Just plugged in my my battery, just did that. There should be enough fuel in the carburetor to try to start this thing. Once again, I don't know if this coil is bad or not. It did get it from a junk bike that was absolutely wrecked, and I'm thinking that it was just the bike was wrecked, and I think the electronics are fine. But we're going to find out. So without further ado, try that. This bike always starts fast. I'm going to see if I can do it without the choke, just because it's so freaking hot and humid out. Okay. Look at that. Nice and freaking smooth. Look at that idle. No more points, people. No more points. Throttle response is right there. Love it. So I got my bike back. So I'm just going to throw the tank on it, and which you know how to go to tank on. It's just, make sure you put your rubber mounts back onto it. I got to go ahead and do all that, and get that all situated back up in place. Get the wiring tucked up in there where that goes. On that side right there, like that. Boom. And then that's it. Throw the tank on, and this bike is up and ready to go with the CDI ignition. Look at that. No more points. Less maintenance. Better idle, better economy, better throttle response, and that is found on the 1999, which is what that bike was, and newer. I love this bike. This bike has been a great bike, and I love the way the modification came out on it. And I mean, you won't even see that bar when you put the tank on, you know what I mean? And it didn't even come out that bad. I just bent it so it went up and under, and that's pretty much it. That's all there is to it. There was no specialty devices. I can't wait to ride this bike on Monday, and I'm not gonna have to worry about points. Not that there was a problem with the points. You guys saw the way they came out. I mean, they like brand new. The bike, those are factory points, by the way, and the bike only has 1,756 miles, but I'd rather have the electronic ignition just to get that more chipper. It's gonna perform the same as it did with the points at first, because the points aren't worn. It's got low mileage, but when they do start to wear, I'm not gonna have to worry about that condenser. I'm not gonna have to worry about the points. It's gonna be all basically, touch and go, and off I go. So I appreciate this. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. This is part 2 of the electronic ignition, the final part. And previously I got rid of the points and put in a mag. We had an electric coil pickup in it, and there is no CDI. I'm going to rephrase. I'm going to redo this again. There is no CDI module in this bike. It's basically a 2-wire system You got your what do you call it, the wire coming from your mag to your coil to your kill switch. It's that simple. There's nothing else to it. And the CDI is built into the factory coil. If you pick up a coil that says it's CDI, it will not work on this bike, because that CDI coil is designed, when you buy them aftermarket, is designed for a 12-volt system. That's the first part. And the second part, it's designed for a CDI module. There's a difference. And the difference is that this does not have a CDI module. This module, or transistor if you will, is built into this ignition coil. That's why it's fat and it has a different part number. So once again, no CDI boxes to go bad. If you have a problem with this bike, it's in your coil. You just have a coil down bottom. It's not even a coil pickup, it's just a electric generator head to power that. That's it. That's all there is to it. There's nothing fancy about it. And it fires on the what do you call it there, compression exhaust stroke. That's it. That's all there is to it. Nothing else. So real simple setup, real easy to do, and I am very happy with it. I think I'm going to put one on my KE100 just because I can. So thank you guys. Please subscribe, and if you have any questions or comments, you know, by all means send them my way. And I hope this video helps you with any conversions or any ideas. Like if you're thinking about converting, what can you do to get a CDI? Well, if you want a CD ignition, $19.99 or newer, and that'll get you an electronic ignition. And if you do it the way I did it, you don't have to do it the way I did it. I just put the I like to keep the factory harness in case I ever decide to sell this bike, or this bike gets to the point where I keep it and it becomes an antique. I could put this thing back to the way it was and then have a vintage classic, because it has the classic styling to it, you know. But just for further down the road, I don't know what the future brings for the bike, but that's one of them. So now it's got a CD. Anyway, please subscribe. Thank you.